In early 2024, a seemingly routine Alaska Airlines flight from Portland, Oregon, to Ontario, California, became the epicenter of one of the most alarming aviation events in recent American memory. Flight 1282, a Boeing 737 MAX 9, was carrying 171 passengers and 6 crew members on a clear morning when, just minutes after takeoff and at an altitude of about 16,000 feet, disaster struck. The door plug, a panel designed to seal an unused emergency exit, catastrophically blew out, leaving a gaping hole in the side of the aircraft. The resulting decompression was immediate and violent. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling, a deafening roar filled the cabin, and a freezing wind whipped through the plane. Passengers screamed, some clutching their seats or the hands of loved ones, while others stared in disbelief at the open sky visible through the fuselage. The 2 seats adjacent to the door plug were, by sheer luck, unoccupied. Items were sucked toward the opening, and the chaos was palpable, but the flight attendants, drawing on their training, managed to keep order, guiding everyone to remain seated and belted. The pilots, maintaining their composure under immense pressure, initiated an emergency descent and brought the aircraft back to Portland for a safe landing. Miraculously, no one was seriously injured, but the psychological impact on those aboard was profound. In the days that followed, passengers recounted stories of terror and relief, of children plagued by nightmares and adults who developed a newfound fear of flying. Alaska Airlines offered counseling and compensation, but for many, the trauma lingered, a stark reminder of how quickly an ordinary journey can turn into a life-altering event. As news of the incident broke, the National Transportation Safety Board launched an immediate investigation, and what they uncovered sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. For bolts, critical to securing the door plug and preventing it from detaching, were missing. The investigation traced the problem to the aircraft's assembly process. The fuselage had arrived at Boeing's facility from a supplier with damage that required the door plug to be removed. During overnight repairs, the team reinstalled the door plug to seal the aircraft from the elements but failed to reinstall the bolts. Crucially, the paperwork documenting this work was never completed, so the next team was unaware that the bolts were missing. This breakdown in communication, documentation, and basic safety protocol was alarming not just for its technical implications, but for what it revealed about the culture of oversight and accountability at one of the world's most prominent aircraft manufacturers. The fallout was immediate and far-reaching. The Federal Aviation Administration ordered the grounding of all Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircraft with similar door plug configurations. Airlines across the country scrambled to comply, leading to widespread flight cancellations and disruptions that rippled through airports and travel plans nationwide. The FAA mandated comprehensive inspections and new documentation standards to ensure that every bolt, panel, and plug was properly installed and recorded. The NTSB's investigation prompted a broader review of maintenance practices, supplier relationships, and the culture of safety within both Boeing and its contractors. The incident quickly became a case study in the importance of redundancy, communication, and a safety-first mindset at every level of the aviation industry. Boeing, already under scrutiny for previous issues with the 737 MAX series, faced a torrent of criticism. The missing bolts were not just a technical oversight, they were emblematic of deeper problems within Boeing's manufacturing and quality control processes. The company's CEO was summoned to congressional hearings, and investors watched as Boeing's stock price fluctuated. The leadership at Boeing underwent a shakeup, with new executives brought in to restore confidence and overhaul safety practices. Government agencies, including the FAA, announced increased oversight of Boeing's safety and quality management systems, signaling a new era of regulatory intervention and a renewed focus on passenger safety. For the passengers and crew of Flight 1282, the incident was a turning point. Many described the moment as surreal: the sudden drop in temperature, the roar of the wind, the sight of the sky through the side of the plane. Some found themselves unable to fly again, while others became advocates for airline safety. The flight attendants and pilots were praised for their quick thinking and professionalism, their actions preventing what could have been a far greater tragedy. Stories emerged of passengers who thought they would never see their families again, of those who clung to hope in each other in the face of chaos, and of the resilience that allowed them to move forward after such a harrowing experience. The Alaska Airlines door plug incident also had broader implications for public trust in air travel. Passengers questioned whether airlines and manufacturers were truly prioritizing their safety, and social media was flooded with stories, opinions, and calls for accountability. Industry analysts warned that the incident could have long-term effects on Boeing's reputation, airline operations, and even the broader U.S. economy. The aviation industry, a cornerstone of American transportation and commerce, faced a reckoning. How could such a basic error occur in the world's most advanced aircraft? What changes were needed to prevent a repeat? The incident exposed vulnerabilities in manufacturing, oversight, and communication that had been overlooked or underestimated for years. In response, Boeing and its partners implemented new safety protocols, improved documentation practices, and strengthened training programs for workers at every stage of production. The FAA expanded its oversight role, conducting surprise inspections and requiring more rigorous reporting from manufacturers and airlines alike. The incident also sparked conversations about the role of automation, the need for human oversight, and the balance between efficiency and safety in a high-pressure industry. The lessons learned from Flight 1282 became a call to action for the entire aviation ecosystem, a reminder that vigilance, transparency, and a relentless commitment to safety must always come first. As the story of the Alaska Airlines door plug blowout faded from the headlines, its impact continued to reverberate. The passengers and crew carried the memory of that day with them, their lives forever changed by a few minutes of chaos at 16,000 feet. Boeing, the FAA, and the entire aviation industry faced a new era of accountability, one in which the smallest oversight could have the gravest consequences. The incident stands as a defining moment in American aviation, a disaster narrowly averted, a story of human courage and corporate responsibility, and a powerful reminder of the stakes involved every time an aircraft takes to the skies.